Travis Kelce limped off the field earlier today with a non-contact right lower leg injury, and in this video we'll talk about what I think this could be, but perhaps more importantly, what I think it's not. Welcome back everybody, I'm Dr. Brian Sutterer, and my goal in this channel is to help teach you about the medical side of the sports world. Let's dive right into what happened here with Travis Kelce, and I'm recording this at halftime, and I think really nothing drastically serious stands out to me, to be totally honest, and we'll walk through kind of why I don't suspect anything major. Every time we see somebody limp off the field and we hear that it was non-contact, I think everybody's mind jumps to the worst case scenario, like an Achilles rupture. And that was the thing that everybody was worried about here with Travis Kelce. You could even hear it in Tony Romo's voice. But if we look at what actually happened here with Kelce, we'll understand why this almost certainly was probably not an Achilles tendon rupture. So as Kelce plants, we're of course dealing with his right foot, his right ankle. Look at the position of his ankle. His ankle is in more of a neutral, if anything, kind of plantar flexed where his toes are downward position. In this position, there's not a lot of extra stretch or tension on Kelce's Achilles tendon and calf. As he continues to move here, you can see his foot and his cleat slides a little bit. And there's no actual reverberation that we see. There's no kind of energy transfer that we see up through his calf, because this isn't really a position where he's putting a lot of excess load on an eccentrically stressed Achilles tendon. If we contrast this to what happened with Aaron Rodgers when he tore his Achilles, you can see how his foot was upwards towards his tibia. So he's in what we call an ankle dorsiflexion position with the toes upwards towards his tibia forward over the ankle joint. What this does is it puts an eccentric load on the Achilles, because the Achilles is being stretched, it's being lengthened in this ankle position, and then he fires and you contract, and this eccentric load is part of what makes that Achilles more prone to rupture. This is the position where we see an Achilles tendon rupture. So then if we compare that to what we saw here with Kelce, we don't see that same degree of ankle dorsiflexion. If anything, he's a little bit plantar flexed, and there's no increased loading or stretch on the Achilles as he goes to then push off here. We don't even, in fact, see any sort of a push off. The only thing to me that I see here with Kelce is we definitely see some inversion of his ankle. Specifically when he's more plantar flexed like this, that's going to be more likely to hit a ligament called the ATFL sitting in the lateral side of the ankle. And so really this ankle inversion is the only thing that I see. This is not high ankle sprain type of mechanism. There's no eversion and external rotation. Eversion would be if the foot went in the other direction, kind of out this way. So to me, to be totally honest, I just see a bit of an ankle inversion. I will say the fact that we heard he was getting some x-rays and evaluated for a foot injury, you can certainly suffer something like a Jones fracture, a fifth metatarsal fracture, whenever you go into this sort of an ankle inversion, sort of changing direction position. But that would be the only thing that I would really think about if we hear that the x-rays come back positive. Okay, quick little side note. The second half has started. Of course, we've all seen Travis Kelce out there, so clearly this was not like an Achilles rupture or any sort of a fracture. But I still think this is hopefully helpful to just talk through differences in these mechanisms and why we can't just jump to say that every non-contact injury is some horrific thing like an Achilles rupture. The other thing that I saw people comment on as well, could this be a Liz Frank, right? We hear about a foot injury, football, we think Liz Frank. Liz Frank is an injury to the ligaments through the midfoot here, but typically they occur whenever your foot is plantar flexed down, but you're up on the ball of your foot. So you're pushing upwards. There's some sort of increased load going through this middle portion of the foot, as opposed to here how Kelce is stepping on just a completely flat foot. So Liz Frank is also not something that we would think about here. And you really just have to focus on what we see. And what we see is that very recognizable inversion position of the ankle. And so that fits with likely an ankle sprain. And I think we even saw Kelce have his ankle taped up. That's it for the video, everybody. I'm glad to see that Kelce is back out there. Hopefully he does well here in the second half. And again, just a little lesson. Remember, there's more to possible injuries than just Achilles ruptures. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.